Well, this week's Blackboard thing, the most basic place to put stuff in a Blackboard course, the content area. By default, when we set up a course and it's empty, you've got that module page and then two content areas, information and content, there by default. A content area is a content area, so the ones that we start you off with are no special thing. You can add content areas to your course menu very easily. If you're going to have content in your course at all, you'll need at least one. Just remember, when you're adding things to your course menu, sometimes, a lot of the time, less is more, okay? So try to keep the number of entries on your course menu down. But in the way of content areas, when they're, like in this course, empty by default, they are hidden from the student view. That's what that little icon indicates. So students wouldn't even see this. If we had our edit mode off and it looks a little more studenty, you'd only have the home page. Couldn't even see the entry for this information area. Of course, as an instructor, you will see those when your controls are on. There's ways to manually change the ones that are there, rename them. You can hide them deliberately from students. That gives you a slightly different looking icon. And that's a manual toggle, so you can hide or you can show the area. Now, for years, I was hoping that Blackboard would have some way to do time release of content areas, and now they do. Some people don't realize that you have these edit controls for each content area, and so you could rename it here as well. You can also, change the view around, but you have down here the ability to set display after and display until settings for the entire content area. So if you set a display until date, after that date and time, the content area vanishes. The trick, of course, is remembering that you set those, because unlike an item, there's no little place for notation to show up on your course menu or anything. So if you do set time and date, just be aware that it will take effect, and so your students will lose access to those areas or not have access until that certain time. We'll probably talk on other weeks about more things to put in content areas or to put on the course menu, etc. But for now, that's the content area and the way that you can control when it shows up and when it doesn't.